So about 3 weeks ago, I was out here in the garden one evening. It was about 9:30 and it was dark, and I heard this rustling really close behind me. And I grabbed my torch and I looked, and there was this massive hedgehog, and I was so pleased to see it because I haven't seen any this year. So the next day I set up my wildlife camera, and I've been putting food out for the hedgehog, and every night it's been visiting and I've been capturing it on my camera. Now, I was looking at the footage, and at first I thought it was one hedgehog, and I noticed it was sort of looking a bit bigger in some shots and a bit smaller in others. And I started to suspect that we might actually have two hedgehogs. And then I caught them both on camera at the same time, so we definitely have two. I've called them Bonnie and Clyde. I don't actually know if they are a pair. They probably aren't, because they don't seem to like each other very much. There's been some very strange displays of aggressive behaviour between the two. So I don't know what's going on there, but we definitely have two, and I think we actually have a third one, because there's one I've seen scooting about, very fast, speedy little fellow who's much smaller than the other two. So I think we have three hedgehogs. We might actually have more. I have no way of knowing. But every night they've been coming around and feeding, which has been really lovely to see. And what was also really interesting to see was our cat Daisy encountering them for the first time. She saw me put out some food and she was quite curious as to what was going on. And then there's this wonderful shot of her actually coming face to face with the hedgehog for the first time. She doesn't quite know what to make of it. She's quite startled by it. But generally she seems to leave them alone, which I'm quite relieved about, because she can be quite an aggressive little cat when she wants to be. So it's really lovely. We've got hedgehogs visiting our garden, and if you want to encourage hedgehogs into your garden, now is definitely the time to do it. And here are some tips.
Allow gaps under gates and cut holes in your fences to allow hedgehogs to wander in and out of your garden. They can roam a couple of miles in a night in their search for food, water or a mate, so it's important they have access to as many gardens as possible. Leave a corner of your garden to grow wild. Hedgehogs will be able to feed on the insects, and they might choose to nest there. Hedgehogs need to weigh about 600 grams to survive their winter hibernation, so they really benefit from extra food in the autumn months. Put out meaty cat or dog food, or you can buy hedgehog food online. A shallow dish of water is also a good idea, but don't give them milk as they're lactose intolerant. You could build a hedgehog house. I'm lining this one Aid made me with dry leaves before putting it in a quiet part of the garden where it will remain undisturbed over winter. Hedgehogs are a gardener's best friend, as they eat slugs, snails and caterpillars, so it's important to avoid using chemical pesticides in the garden. The hedgehogs will gladly rid you of pests, and you'll be supplying them with a plentiful diet. Hedgehog numbers in the UK have halved since the turn of the century, so they really need all the help we can give them. For more information, check out the website of your local wildlife trust.